welcome to the fifth and final round with Foretold Control. On the play again, you choose to play first. Yeah. Against other control decks, it might be correct to be on the draw, potentially. Or at least it might be traditionally. But with this deck, maybe not, simply because As Foretold is super important, and if you let them get to 3 mana, they also have Disallow in addition to Syncopates and Censors if they're running them. Gives them a lot more ways to do stuff like that. I think I have to let this one resolve. I'm just going to play As Foretold, because whatever they resolve, it can't be that scary. Like, Steel Age Champion, maybe, and then they get to smack me for 4, I'm down to 16, then I just untap, consign, like, I have plenty of outs, yeah. Like, that would be the scariest thing they can do. Like, Ripjaw Raptor, you want to keep it? Sure, opponent. And, like, now they get to smack me for 4, which isn't even a big deal. Like, Heart of Kirin isn't great because they're dead multiples. No, that's unfortunate. We didn't hit our 4th land to Glimmer, but, no, wait. Okay, I messed up. I'm going to have to wait for them to attack now because I should have Fatal Pushed on my turn because that cost me a Fatal Push. That might cost me the game, honestly. Because now I don't get to Fatal Push as much here. They chose to keep Galta. I think that's a huge mistake against a control deck. Like, because you choose to attack, right? So you're going to come in there. So I'm going to kill your Heart of Kirin. And I'm going to kill it in response. And now they just have a threat kind of lying around. I guess I can sign one of them. I don't know. I feel like I can just do that with As Foretold anyway. Once I have more direction on what I want to be doing. Yeah, I'm going to bounce a Merfolk Branchwalker. It's kind of anti-value, but it allows me to... It takes a lot of pressure off the table. There's Hush Up Oasis. I don't really care about that one too much. It could be annoying. That's interesting. Well, let's scatter it. Because now, like, if I draw a 5th land, I get to just Metallurgic Summonings and do a whole bunch. But, like, it's kind of confusing that they're playing out the Merfolk Branchwalkers instead of these Ripjaw Raptors and whatnot. I get they're dead against me, but they're, like, 4 mana 4/5s instead of... Yep, definitely top both. Because, well, I do want to kill this Branchwalker eventually. Guess that's a kind of quick clock. Wait till... I can wait. It's like, if they play Ripjaw Raptor here, the Galta's completely dead. Branchwalker. Okay, you can't have that one. It's like, if I don't know. This Hush Up Oasis could mean lethal pretty quickly. Or it actually means lethal almost next turn. Need to find something. Bottom the As Foretold. I'll also bottom the Opt. I don't have time to... Definitely don't have time for that. Another land. Okay, this does give me a blocker. Unfortunately, they did that pre-combat, which is really good for me. Because now I get to do this. Now I have a blocker for the Merfolk. If they'd done that post-combat, now I'm in a way worse spot. But now they just gave me a 4/4 blocker. Now they're down to 2 cards in hand. So now I can just untap Oblivion, and I think they're scooping. Yep. I get to go untap, Oblivion you. I draw Essence Scatter to keep up whatever they drew, and then I get to Summonings, plus, like, it doesn't matter, that game's over. So, mono green again. Yeah, I don't know if it was actually during our videos, but this deck comes up a ton. It's either green or like green-black. There's just a lot of these stompy decks with the Steel Leaf Champions. So if I remember correctly, just bring in the Bontus, and then we cut the Moment's Cravings, or we cut that. Bring in the Moment of Craving, just one, because we have Wraths, and we have Fatal Pushes, and the Moment of Cravings don't actually kill that much. They kill a few things, like they can kill Merfolk Branchwalkers, but most of the time I'm just going to be resolving As Foretold and then Bontus. And if I Bontus, they usually don't have much, and then they can top deck, but like if I'm at 10, and then their threats aren't very good. I think I'll keep this. Sure, I need to draw a blue source, but I have a bunch of them. And I have a Bontus in case I don't for a little bit. Although, drawing that commit really stinks because what I really want to do here is go As Foretold, Blossoming Defense. Yeah, they're going to bin that. Yep, I mean, that's how I lose. I have 24 lands. I had 3 draws to the land. Yep. So if I don't draw a land here, I'd probably lose. I'm not just dead, but super important that I hit a land here. If I hit an island or a Drowned Catacomb, I'm in an amazing spot compared to otherwise. Yep, so that's probably game. Because now I have to discard an As Foretold. Instead of, if I draw in an island or a Drowned Catacomb, or even any land, but especially those, I just, like, an island or a Drowned Catacomb, I get to go As Foretold, and then I get to opt and untap and Bontus when they do something. Yeah, there's Heart of Kirin, and then it's even more damage. I think I have time to As Foretold, because I need to. I was like, that's the only way I win this game. It's like leaving up mana, it just seems bad. Okay, they drew Brontodon. Like, that's their best card against me. And now, if I Bontus, I lose. If I don't Bontus, I lose. I don't know, that's pretty unfortunate. So I have to, like, hope their whole hand is Galta's Blossoming Defenses. It's not a good spot to be in. I don't know. Missing that one land drop meant that I can't, guess I'll top this. This card is just very good against us. This matchup still should be good, but, like, sometimes we get draws like this and we miss land drops. And, like, we're holding up our fake Fatal Push and whatever, but I don't know. If we'd hit lands, we would have had an As Foretold to turn earlier, and then we would have opted on both turns, and then we would have done something, probably Wrathing before they get to Brontodon, or we would have gotten to counter the Brontodon, and then they'd have, like, nothing in play, and we would have won this game. If we were on the play, we would have lost a lot worse because we wouldn't have drawn it, but I don't know. Bontus is kind of a Hail Mary there. Okay, yep, we're dead. Okay. I don't know. That was kind of a Hail Mary. If we'd hit our land a turn earlier, we would have won that game, but oh well. A bunch of our opponents have got mana screwed out too, so can't complain too much. Yeah, I don't know, maybe this Moment of Craving is supposed to be a Consign to Oblivion. I feel like it isn't, but it totally could be. I could be wrong. Like, it was super impressive that first game, although I feel like we were winning anyways, but it would have taken out their whole hand, and then like, this card is very good with As Foretold, because we can bounce their thing and then untap and still keep up mana while we, or keep up an As Foretold spell while we burn away most of their hand. The problem is it gets a lot worse when against some decks where they have tons and tons of dead cards anyways, just like all their removal. This is actually kind of interesting because I'm going to go Island, but the weird thing is I have to sequence this in a way that I get to commit on 4 and I can kill all their, like, I let the dorks live because they just get cleaned up by Wraths, but Like, I need to go land here, so that way, like, this is just very clunky. Like, these evolving odds are much better than Fetid Pools would be, because it lets me turn on Fatal Push, but at the same time, like, if they go Steel Leaf, no Steel Leaf? Interesting. Roanos. That's terrifying. Because that survives a Wrath. Please be Steel Leaf Champion. Like, if that had been Steel Leaf Champion, we're in a great spot. We just Fatal Push it, and then they're down their turn 3 play for 1 mana. Like, Fatal Push is a really powerful card if you put in the effort to make it enable it. Like, it takes down almost the entire mono green deck. What is this? 4 or greater? Okay, sure. Like, if we just don't let them enable the Roanos, then we're good. Okay, there's a Forest. They're going to play it. They have a 2 mana spell. They're just attacking with Land of War Elves. Or not. Maybe they're holding up Heroic Intervention? Kind of confused about that. Like, I could just leave up Supreme Will there, but Supreme Will plus Fatal Push, or a lot of things, like, I really need to, like, commit might be important. Like, I feel like playing that land, and then I get to Metallurgic right into a Thrashing Brontodon. Like, that's the last card they're going to play. Heart of Kirin. Okay, I let that resolve because once they crew the thing, yep, sure. I'll let that go. I thought they were going to crew and then ruin us, but okay. So option 1, to play around Blossoming Defenses, I just commit the Heart of Kirin. I don't really love that because I can just Fatal Push. I think I just pass. Feels kind of bad that I lost all that mana, but they're not really applying much pressure. And tapping out here would be... It's actually kind of wise. This is the turn to just do stuff because I can Bontu's later if they're naturalizing. Yeah, that's fine. Like, so I stop when my opponents begin combat. So that way the Roman House can't attack. If they Blossom Defense, I'm going to get super blown out here. Which I suspect they do. Damn it. Well, sometimes you know they have it and you can't play around it. Maybe I should have countered the Supreme Will earlier. Might have saved me. Because now I'm in a terrible spot where it would have been a great one. Yep. I think that mistake earlier in the game cost me the game. Because I was getting super greedy with the Fatal Push. Because now all they have to do is just play 3 power and I lose. Yeah, this easily could have been a 4-1. And I made it into a... Yeah, like I have to draw a Swamp. Oh yeah, we're done. Like, if this wouldn't have happened if I had countered the Heart of Kirin, because then they just have a Romanos flat sitting around not doing anything. They would have killed the As Foretold, it wouldn't have mattered. But this was my fault. Like, this deck is very powerful if you misplay against it or you just don't draw well. And I drew well against it, and it didn't matter because I messed up. So don't do that. Yep. Yeah. So, recap on this deck. I think this deck is very powerful. I'm not... It plays a very different angle than traditional blue-black control in Standard, because it doesn't have any creature threats, and as you saw against the blue-red matchup, it certainly makes a huge difference. Like, they had tons of dead cards where against we would have had a good chance of losing if we had been playing like Torrential Gearhulks and they just gotten abraded left and right, and they cost so much more mana. And As Foretold let us do really powerful things. Like, we went off a lot of games, and it didn't feel like win more a lot of the time. Like, we can just scry it away if we don't need it, and like, it gives us a huge angle where we get to hold up tons of extra mana. Like, sometimes we're going to win anyways, and just having all that extra mana lets us do crazy things with Glimmer of Geniuses and Commit to Memories, but a lot of the time, it's really essential. And this deck is really low on win cons, which is nice. these Metallurgic Summonings are great. They play great against most of the format. I feel like this deck is kind of weak to Thrashing Protons and Naturalizes, but at the same time, that's taking away from our opponent's clock if they have to leave up all that mana. And we usually play these after we're done, like Stabilizing. I just messed up there, and I didn't counter the Heart of Karen with the Spring Wheel. I think that I would encourage you to try this deck out. It's not that expensive. In the deck I said how much it was. I don't remember off the top of my head. If you want to upgrade this deck, I would suggest adding Disallows over the Spring Wheels, Vraska's Contempts maybe, turn into more traditional blue-black control and standard. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. It might be worse, honestly. I don't think people have really tried out this angle. I played this card a lot in formats like 1v1 Commander, and it's extremely powerful when you get it going. And if you don't get it going, your opponent, like, you trade down a little bit on mana, but your opponent has to be playing these kind of awful cards against you that aren't relevant all the ton of the time. Kind of sucks that Metallurgic Summonings gets hit by the same stuff as Foretold. But at the same time, As Foretold is super powerful, and Metallurgic Summonings is super powerful, and they turn off all our opponent's removal. As Foretold lets us run Bontu's Last Reckoning. It lets us run a bunch of 1-drops. It lets us run Opt instead of just running more lands. I'm not even sure this deck wants Fetid Pools, because Evolving Wilds turns off Fatal Push. I was running it during testing, and it just made the deck more expensive and not significantly better. Like, it's not bad in this deck, and Evolving Wilds can run out of basics, as we saw in the blue-red control matchup, but at the same time, when you have that many lands in play, it's not that relevant. And having the ability to kill Steel Leaf champions won us at least one game, and it'll probably win more if you're playing a lot against that mono-green deck. Like just killing a Territorialosaurus or a Ripjaw Raptor or a Steel Leaf champion or a lot of other cards, and getting to do that in 2 when you would otherwise have to wait to Field of Ruin. If they don't have non-basics, you just can't turn on Revolt, and it's just not great for you in the slightest. Just Fatal Push just turns from, like, you know, this amazing 2-mana Go for the Throat to 1 mana, or turns from Go for the Throat to Disfigure, which is a lot worse. These Glimmers are super impressive. Hieroglyphic Illumination might be better. That could be worth testing out. If you have the budget, I would try regular blue-black control and see which is better. I suspect that regular blue-black control might be better, but at the same time, or, I mean, if you unbudgetified this, if you added the Disallows and the Vraska's Contempts, I'm not sure how many commits you'd cut. Maybe upgraded the sideboard or something to have, like, the Scarab God. Because while those cards are extremely powerful, they turn on all your opponent's removal, and they make your control matchup a lot worse, and they make you a lot slower against mono green. And you can't run Bontus, really, outside of, like, a 1 or 2 of, because your land summon tapping is a much bigger downside, and your curve isn't quite as low. Yeah, I would suggest giving this deck a try if you want to play something sweet. It's kind of cheap for this week's Fair Change Constructed. And see you next time on MTG Delver.